Good evening, traders. This is Taylor from thetradinganalyst.com, and I'm going to take a look at some chart requests here that we've been receiving, and I'm going to go over my analysis. And so the idea is for you to be able to have a look inside of my thought process and some of the things that I look for when looking at a stock chart. The first request here is First Solar. And notice here we did break below this support. Many bounces at this support right here, right here, right here, and then we broke below this support. Short term, looks like we may want to be heading a little bit higher. Looks constructive, but just remember that we've got pretty big resistance in this area. We've got resistance up here as well, and I'm going to draw that for you. You know, right around here, these two lows, about $44, these lows right there. So quite a bit of resistance above us. I'm going to look at the weekly time frame, see if there's anything I can see right here. Yeah, so it's not really acting that great. We're below these lows right here, but we are right here at these lows, so that is something to note as well. You can see here in 2013 on the weekly chart, this is an area that we bounced at. Another thing here is you can see that we've got longer lower wicks on these last several weekly candles. So for me personally, in this area right here, not optimal in either direction really, because you know we broke this support, but then we've got some support right here from these candles right here. So we're kind of in an in-between zone. We're not really trending really that well. So for me, it would be kind of a no touch here on FSLR. And I'm going to switch to the daily time frame. And I'm going to go to the next chart request. UVXY, you know, that's just going to go straight down. So I'm not going to chart that. I don't chart volatility. RNVA, let's look at that. Yeah, and if you're trying to chart volatility, you're going to have a bad time. So there's a reason that I don't do that. Okay, so RNVA, I guess I've gotten a chart request on this previously. You know, we've got resistance here at this level, okay, from the lows of all these candles. So see this sideways trading action all right here. You know, basically all of 2016, just a lot of sideways trading action, and we're below that. So we've got a lot of resistance above us, and that's from these lows right here. So 50 cents all the way to $1, a lot of resistance. So same kind of thing as up here, and I'm just going to draw it just so you can visually see what we're looking at here. So same kind of thing, a lot of sideways trading action, and then we finally broke through it right here. You can see, and then we got rejected right there at that level, and then broke down big time below there. So same kind of thing is going on right here. A lot of sideways trading action, and we broke below that, so now it's going to be big time resistance, and that's pretty much all I got to say about that one. Alright, next one, let's look at CALM. Alright, CALM, let's see what I can see on CALM. Okay, first thing I'm seeing, decent uptrend line right there. Lots of touches right here. Touch, touch, touch. And that's on the bottom side. On the top side, we've got a downtrend line just above us. And notice how it's pretty much right in line with this 200-day moving average. So a lot of resistance above us. I see some more resistance right around where we were at. Let's call it right around there. So just below $46, and I'll zoom in so you can see it. That's where we bounced from here. here, 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 lots of bounces, tried to bounce here, and then finally broke below that level right here, retested, rejected, retested, rejected again. So this is a big level here. So you want to see this trend line hold. You want to see these lows hold. If those lows don't hold, we're going to come back down and we're going to retest these lows down here. More than likely, the trend will continue down just because it is a downtrending stock since the middle of 2015, but we'll see. It would be very constructive if it broke over this 200-day moving average, as well as this downtrend line right there, as well as this resistance. So a pretty key area up here. If we break 46, 47, that's going to be a nice breakout level for this stock. All right, next let's take a look at semi. All right, let's see what we can see with semi. All right, so first thing I'm seeing here is right here. We've got an uptrend here. We broke over the 200-day moving average, so that's constructive. Another thing is we kind of broke over a downtrend here. We were in a downtrend, lots of touches here, broke over it. So over the downtrend line, over the 200-day moving average. But we do have some resistance here. This is the biggest volume by price bar right here, which is right where we're at. So a lot of resistance here. And above us, as you can see here, a lot of touches here on the support end. As you can see, bounced here one last time and then broke down big time once it broke that support level. So if we end up popping some more, that level is going to be some resistance. On the downside, I'm seeing support anywhere between 750, and that's from the high right there, as well as the low right there, high, and then right around 650 or so. You can see there was resistance here, 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 and then we finally broke over it right there, which is right where the 200-day moving average is. Other than that, I'm not seeing anything huge on this chart. Let's look on the weekly time frame. Oh wow, this is a really nice breakout here. If you could have easily bought this breakout here. We had an uptrend here, and then look at this beautiful pattern. See how the Bollinger Bands, these are the Bollinger Bands, here's the upper Bollinger Band, here's the lower Bollinger Band, and you see how they got, not wide, they contracted, they got really tight here on the weekly time frame. And right here, this candle and this candle both broke up to the upper end of the Bollinger Band. When you get really tight Bollinger Bands and then the price starts to move in the direction of one of the bands. So for example, this is not as good of an example over here that I'm about to show you as we have right here, but I just want to show you what it looks like on the other side. So right here, the Bollinger Bands, obviously they're not nearly as tight as they were over here, but just to give you an idea, it's kind of a somewhat similar picture here, and you can see that the Bollinger Bands are tight, and then price traded into the Bollinger Bands, and you can see we got a nice move to the downside. Okay, over here, now this is a much better, cleaner example because we have a much bigger resistance break right here with this candle right here, and the Bollinger Bands were tighter. So you could have gotten in this move before we popped up here. So a lot of signs, earlier signs that could have gotten you in that breakout had you seen those things. So just to kind of think about those things. And we also broke over the 200-day moving average. So a lot of things, a lot of signs here to kind of give you a hint of what's to come. All right, let's take a look at another one. PAYC. Oops. All right, PAYC. Let's see here. Not really seeing a whole lot to work with. Definitely a very bullish stock. We broke over this resistance here. Resistance, resistance, resistance. You can see that. And then we broke over that right here on Friday's action. So short term, definitely think this one can head higher. And then if you look here, we've got that nice little uptrend right there, pushing it higher. Let's look at the weekly time frame, see if there's anything we can see right here. I'm wondering, I don't know this stock, so I'm wondering if this is all-time highs. This could be all-time highs. So, you know, blue skies above us, if it is in fact all-time highs for this stock. So another thing I like about this stock is the breakout over this resistance was accompanied with above average volume. So you can see here we had about 826,000 volume on Friday, and then here on Wednesday we had 306,000 volume, so almost 3 times the amount of volume here on Friday. So that's definitely bullish. And again, like I mentioned on that previous stock we were looking at, you know, we've got these tight Bollinger Bands right here. Here's the lower Bollinger Band, here's the upper Bollinger Band. Tight Bollinger Bands, when they break outside of this range, usually sees a nice move. So I like that stock. SPY. Okay, let's check out SPY really quick. All right, so I've got a lot going on with SPY here. Trading in a box, right here between about 219 and about 217. Once we break outside of this box, should see a nice move in either direction. Most likely, the break is going to be to the upside. And since I got you on this subject, and we're looking at this chart, you know, a lot of people are looking at this chart and they're thinking, oh, we're, you know, having a topping formation. You know, to me, you know, you can work off, you know, quote unquote overbought conditions with 2 factors. The first one is through price, and what that would mean is you would head lower. Okay, so if we were overbought here, we would head lower in order to consolidate those gains and to work off those overbought, quote unquote overbought conditions. Okay, the other way that you can work off those overbought, quote unquote positions is, conditions is through time. And that, I believe, is what we're seeing right here. So it's very constructive to be holding these price levels right here. Notice how we were trading sideways here, broke to the next level right here. So this is another new box. So this is bullish up here, in my opinion, especially when you look at thousands of charts a day like myself. You see that you see a lot of the under the hood. You see a lot of the individual names and the big movers, and you see that you know, the conditions are really ripe for higher prices. Now, since we're on here, I'm going to look at the weekly time frame, just kind of show you exactly what we've gone through. So over the last couple years, you know, we were working off same kind of thing here. Okay, same kind of thing. Let's back it up a little bit. So here we are since 2009, really nice uptrend here. Okay, you know, we've had some bumps in the roads, but you know, this is an uptrend. All right, this is definitely an uptrend. Obviously, you know, I don't need to convince you of that. It's very apparent. And so over here, we had a lot of sideways trading action. You know, a lot of people, you know, were calling for crashes and what have you. But really, we didn't really do that much damage. And then we broke higher. So this was a big time resistance. We got rejected up here a lot of times, okay? So you can tell this was level. This level was a very important level, and that level was about 213, okay? Let's just use a nice round number, 213. finally we broke over that level with this candle right there, and that was the middle of July, so was that breakout. So as you can see, definitely a bullish weekly chart, and not in my opinion, but definitely looks like it's about to break out, and it's about to break out big time. So looks to me, I mean, this is kind of similar action to, over here. We were consolidating. We had a lot of resistance up in this level, a lot of resistance. Okay, finally broke over it, consolidated lower, and then boom. You can see that, once it gets moving, we don't really need a lot of breaks. We took breaks over here. Okay, we consolidated sideways right here for 2 years, 2 frickin' years. Okay, and then we broke to the upside over that range. Okay, I can't stress to you how bullish that is. Okay, can we head lower and fake everyone out and break to the lower end? Of course, but we're talking about probabilities, and we are talking about chart patterns, and breaking out to all-time highs is bullish. That's not an opinion. Breaking to new highs is bullish, and there's nothing bearish about that. So let's let price be our guide. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox there. Next, let's cover IP. All right, so, let's cover this weekly chart because it looks actually really nice. So IP, if you look here, kind of has an inverse head and shoulders look to it. So here's the left shoulder, here's the head, and here's the right shoulder. So this is a very, very big pattern, okay? And you can see that we broke over it on this week right there. Coincidentally, the week that the S&P 500 broke out, no surprise there. The middle of July, so that was definitely a nice long signal right there. Looks like it has some juice in it. Definitely has some juice in it because this is a big pattern. Okay, this is I don't want to put too much emphasis on it, but definitely a big pattern here, and it should continue higher in the long run. Now that we're on the weekly chart, got some resistance up here. You can see that it was support, 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 support. So now that we're going to reach that level from the bottom side, that 52 level is going to be that next resistance level. I'm going to go to the daily chart, back to the daily chart. And yeah, so pretty much same thing. Nothing really else to say about this, but yeah, so I've said my piece on that. All right, so Under Armour, I believe we covered this last time. All right, so Under Armour, we've got this trend line here, if I can only reach it. All right, so we've got this trend line here, a few touches up here, a few touches right there, here, here. All right, so we are in somewhat of a downtrend. Well, we're in a downtrend here, and then we've got an uptrend over here. So we're kind of coming up to, there's a key level here for this stock. Okay, you really want, if you're bullish on this stock, you want to see this 35, 60 or so level hold on UA. For me, this doesn't really have a nice pattern at all, and I wouldn't really feel comfortable touching this stock in either direction. So for me, it would just be a no touch. I don't have a good read on it. You can see it's kind of behaving erratically, and I don't see really any reason for my style personally and my time frame of trading to either buy or short this stock. AIRG is going to be the next one we're going to look at. Now AIRG, okay, let's see here if I can see something different. Oh, this is a new IPO. So, you know, see if I can see anything. Most likely not. I mean, we've got what, a month of data. I'm going to let this load really quick. Definitely a good start to this stock, but we've got a couple weeks of data. So for me, this isn't really anything that I would want to touch personally. But good luck. Next one, let's take a look at Ford. All right, so Ford here. Yeah, not that great of a look here. We go to the weekly time frame. Looks like I have a trend line drawn. Yeah, so we've got a trend line here. We've been in a downtrend for, since the middle of 2014. Lower highs, lower low. Okay, but we are coming up to kind of key level. You can see that we've got a little uptrend going here too. So let's go back to the daily time frame and see how we're holding. So from these lows right there, these lows, almost this low, this low, this low. For me, again, kind of a no touch. Not really giving me any reason to own it or short it, really. If I was long, I'd really want it to hold, these lows right here, about $12. I really want it to hold $12. If it holds this trend line, we could come up here and fill this gap. But again, we've got this downtrend that we've been in that's right up there. So if we get up there, definitely has risk of breaking back down once it hits that trend line. So for me, don't really have a great read on this, and that would be a no touch for me. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Thank you as always for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I would love to chat. Have a great night. See you next time.